Hi dear Truth Warriors, welcome back to a new video. My name is Petra, I'm a life coach and advocate for survivors of narcissistic and emotional abuse. So I was looking through my notes as usual. I always look through notes and through my old journals, and I found a topic from Kelly. And Kelly, I apologize because this topic came in through my inbox about a year ago, and it's the topic of the hypochondriac narcissist. So I was looking through the notes and I found it. Thank you, Kelly, because I think this is a great topic for a video, and sorry for keeping you waiting so long. So yes, you know, we all, speaking to so many clients over the last couple of years, oftentimes I've heard them saying that they themselves are a hypochondriac. And I would just like to clear this up, is that that's how it may show up, where you're continuously feeling aches and pains in your body. You feel that you have to go to the best specialists, you have to see the doctor, there's certain medication that you might need. This all has to do with psychosomatic illnesses and grievances within the body. It's not so much that you are hypochondriac. Of course, there are exceptions to that rule, but usually it's a psychosomatic grievance where you have suffered so much trauma and so much stress in your life that you will be hypervigilant, you will have hypertension, and of course, from being wound up so tightly, literally, for so many years, your body is going to react to that, is going to respond to that. And there are going to be very many different things that you feel in your body, aches and pains that just cannot seem to be clarified by specialists or by doctors. But that is a whole different video. That really has to do with psychosomatic grievances or illnesses. But coming back to the topic of hypochondriac narcissist, the narcissist, when they fake an illness, there is always an ulterior motive, always. And you will know, that again, I speak so often about intuition. You will know by your gut feeling whether they are faking the illness or whether it is truly an illness that they are having, or truly some grievance in their body that they are experiencing. But when you listen to your intuition, you will know when it is a fake illness. So oftentimes, with the narcissists in my life, so many illnesses were faked. They faked cancer, they faked diabetes, they faked all these very serious illnesses. And the ulterior motive to that, there are so many, but I just wrote down a few. I have a top, I don't know, top 6 or 7, I don't know how many there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 of them listed down, which were true in my own experience when dealing with narcissists, and speaking to clients who have experienced the same thing with the hypochondriac narcissist. So the ulterior motives are leisure time, believe it or not. Some hypochondriac narcissists will fake an illness to get time out, to get leisure time, so that they are laying in bed, not feeling well, they will get their leisure time. That is one of them. The second one I had here was to steer away from responsibilities, and this is absolutely true. Oftentimes I hear it when a couple has split, when one partner is the narcissist, and they have times to take the children, certain weekends that the narcissistic parent takes the children. They will fake or feign an illness or not feeling well or whatever it may be, so that they can steer away from their responsibilities. And then a couple of hours later, you will look on social media, or you will see something, someone will tell you something, someone will get on the phone with you and say, hey, I saw your ex-partner at X, Y, and Z. So this is where they're caught out. They're not always very clever about faking illnesses, because they will be caught out doing some fun stuff while they should have been taking care of their responsibilities, picking up their children. It is also to gain extra fuel and gain extra supply from you, because of course what do we do as empaths and as sensitive people? We tend to want to not only save the person or rescue the person that we're dealing with, but we are also very attuned to the grievances that they may be going through. So when a narcissist fakes an illness, this of course is going to get a lot of attention from us, the ones involved with them in relationships or friendships. We're going to want to make sure they're all right, ask them if they need to see a doctor, succumb to all their needs and their demands, just so that they can get better. So they play on our sympathy. This is something that a narcissist loves, and that is getting attention and sympathy. So this is what we do. And now that you know this is where, this is the ulterior motive, you will know not to play into that game as well. So the extra fuel and supply is always, it may not even just be the partner. It may also be from the children, or the narcissist could phone the parent or phone the neighbor or whoever it is. The people that they know will give them the extra sympathy and fuel and supply that they need. It's also about being in the spotlight, because of course, anything that a narcissist does, and especially the covert narcissist, well, no, not especially. There's also a lot of overt narcissists who just demonstrate this kind of behavior, is that they love to be in the spotlight. So when they find that maybe their supply is being cut off, or maybe there's less attention that they're getting, less being in the spotlight, they will fake these illnesses. It'll be as bad as you having to call the emergency services in the middle of the night to get them to go to the emergency room, or it can be any amount of drama that they can conjure up, just to be able to be in the spotlight, because then of course all hands are on them, all attention is onto them. So there's the ambulance people, there's you worrying about them, there's the staff at the emergency room, everyone is faffing around them, and this is what puts them back in the spotlight. They revel in this kind of attention. It's also about I just thought of a funny story, this whole reveling in attention, is that they will go to such great lengths to get a little bit or a lot of attention, and especially when they see that it is being reduced. This is something that they do not like. So anything that they can pull out of their bag of tricks is what they will do to get the attention that they so truly need. Another ulterior motive is that they will divert attention from another issue. It may be an important issue. It may be that you call them out on their stuff. It could be anything that they feel uncomfortable with, anything where they realize that they have to take responsibility for something that they've said or done. So feigning an illness is of course going to steer them away from the real issue at hand. It's going to take your attention away from the real issue and put it back onto them. So it's all been thought out beforehand. They know exactly what to do. They have so many tricks in their bag of tricks. They have so many tricks in there. So they will know what is going to work for any given situation, and they will make use of that. It's all about creating drama, all of it. This is what a narcissist thrives on, is having the drama. They need the drama. They need the noise. They need the chaos around them. So if their usual tactics start to not serve them as well, then they will show all symptoms of being a hypochondriac. And this is where you again follow your gut feeling, follow your intuition in this, because you will know when something is real and when something is fake. And of course sometimes you may doubt yourself, because it's all about the doubting game. Narcissists are great manipulators when it comes to intimidation, when it comes to gaslighting, when it comes to projection, and when you are so accustomed to that way of being, accustomed to that way of relating to them, sometimes the very thin line between truly being able to trust your intuition and to know that this is just another show that they are putting on to gain attention and to be put back into the spotlight. So I hope that has helped some. You know, it's a very fascinating thing to, as I've said before, it's very fascinating when you can sit and just relay for yourself, just write down certain situations that you've been in with the toxic person who is maybe still in your life, who has been in your life, is to write down all of these situations, write down the stories, write down the examples, because over time, especially when you have gone through the process of healing and you come out on the other side, is that some of the things you will forget. You will then again start to doubt yourself and think, maybe I saw too much into the situation. Maybe I should have viewed the situation from another point of view. Maybe. So the doubt, you know, I still sometimes have it, and I'm 5 years out of the last narcissistic relationship, is that sometimes I will just have a thought, or I'll be triggered by something, and then I start to doubt myself, start to doubt my own perception, and think, well, maybe I saw too much into it. Maybe these people were not as abusive as I made them out to be. And this is when the journals come in very handy, because you can go back and leaf through the journals and find all the stories of and the situations that you've described in your journal, which then pulls you back into reality. So keeping a journal is a great way to rid yourself of the cognitive dissonance that sometimes still shows up, even if you are out of that relationship for the longest time. So this made me smile when I read the topic request from Kelly, is that I went back into my journals again and I was reading through stuff that I had written down over the years. And one of them was this, one of the narcissists in my life who was definitely a hypochondriac, and who would come up with the most craziest things, you know, faking even dying on the verge of death, faking cancer, as I said. And I would get myself all flustered and get all upset, and she would then call me, and you know, late at night or early in the morning, and say, this is what I'm suffering from, I need you to come, I need you to help me. And I would be, you know, just throw on some clothes, jump in the car, go over to her place, and I would get there, she'd open the door, and she'd be as calm as anything, just totally calm. And she'd say, oh no, well, I've settled now, I'm not having the ailments anymore. And it was just all drama and chaos, and I bought into it, as all of us do. We all buy into it. But this is where you can use your journal as a sort of crutch to help you through difficult days, because you will have the difficult days, you know. You cannot be completely healed. You're going to have something that's going to trigger you. You're going to have whatever it is, whether it's a scent, whether it's a situation, it can just be a sentence or a word, and it will trigger a memory. Use the journals as a crutch to help you remember what exactly went on. So please share your stories and your comments here down below the video. I'm sure many of you have similar situations that you can relate to, you know, what I just spoke of in the video. Please share them down below. Take care of yourselves and always follow your intuition. Have a great weekend wherever you are. Love to all of you. Bye now.